She hid a secret her entire life, and when the truth was revealed, everything changed in the end. Imagine discovering all of a sudden that your grandmother sacrificed her own love to protect her entire family. This isn't just another story, it's one of the most emotional stories about family secrets, impossible love, and silent sacrifices. Today, you'll see how a simple old letter turned generations upside down, and how, in the end, a single revelation shocked everyone. Prepare yourself to cry, to be moved, and to question how far someone would go for love. And, most importantly, what was truly discovered? Why did it change everything in the end? Stay with me, the conclusion will surprise you. If you love emotional stories, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Here, we always have emotional stories that touch your heart. Now, shall we hear today's emotional story? Doña Olivia, 72 years old, was always that sweet grandmother who would make fresh coffee and remember all her grandchildren's birthdays. Short, with white hair pulled back into a simple bun, hands marked by years of work. Always smiling, even when her world was falling apart inside. The story begins in a simple country house full of old furniture in a small town. It's late afternoon, the weak sun hitting through the window, the smell of cake baking in the oven. It seems peaceful, but there is something hidden in that house, an old pain, suppressed for years. On a regular weekend, her granddaughter, Clara, 23, decides to help her grandmother tidy up some old closets. She finds an envelope hidden at the bottom of a box, handwritten, to be read only after I'm gone. But Doña Olivia is alive. The granddaughter trembles. Why hide a letter like this? What is this heavy secret? Clara wants to ask her grandmother about the letter, but she's afraid. That same night, she watches Doña Olivia sleeping in the armchair, her head tilted to the side, looking so fragile. Clara cries softly, thinking, what has she been hiding all these years? Why? Does it have something to do with me? With my parents? The next morning, Clara builds up courage. She asks, Grandma, what is that letter? Doña Olivia turns pale. The smile disappears. She just says, with a choked voice, it's not time yet, my child. Doña Olivia is not guilty. She did something to protect someone, but she suffered in silence. It's impossible not to feel empathy. That same day, Clara decides to investigate on her own. She rummages through other family albums and finds an old photo of her mother as a baby. But something catches her attention. In the photo, Clara's mother is in the arms of another man she has never seen. On the back of the photo, it's written, "For all I've done, forgive me." Clara needs to decide, respect her grandmother's wish and not read the letter, or open it anyway and discover the truth. The granddaughter's heart races. Does she open it, or does she wait? Clara doesn't open it, but she decides to ask her mother who the man in the photo is. Her mother, Elisa, is in shock, her face completely white. She starts to cry, says she needs to leave, and goes away without an explanation. Now Clara feels guilty. She thinks she hurt her mother, upset her grandmother. But her curiosity only grows. What is this big secret? Is it something terrible or something noble? Doña Olivia alone in the kitchen. She takes the letter back. She looks at the sky, whispers, "My God, did I do the right thing?" Clara, looking out the window, thinks, what if what she hid is something that will destroy the whole family? If you were in Clara's place, would you open the letter, or would you respect your grandmother's silence? If you've stayed here until now, thank you so much. But stay, because what comes next will move you even more. Let's discover together what Doña Olivia hid.
Clara spends the entire night without sleep. The image of her mother leaving in tears won't leave her mind. She's afraid she's destroyed something precious, but even more afraid of what she still doesn't know. At breakfast, her grandmother notices her swollen eyes. "You didn't sleep, did you?" "No, Grandma," Clara hesitates. I need to know. Donna Olivia lowers her head. Her wrinkled hands squeeze the cup tightly. I know, my child, but some truths hurt more than they heal. Clara walking through the old house, running her hand over the portraits on the wall, Donna Olivia's hands trembling as she holds the letter. A photo of the happy family on the shelf, in contrast to the heavy atmosphere. Clara, 23, a design student. She's sensitive, curious, and loves her grandmother above all. She's always been protective of her grandmother since she was little, ever since she noticed that Donna Olivia had a sadness she never spoke about. Late in the morning, Clara calls her mother Elisa, who doesn't answer. She sends messages, no response. The tension increases. Clara decides to search her grandmother's room, hoping to find more clues. At the back of the wardrobe, she finds a small wooden box locked with a key. Next to it, inside an envelope, is the key. Clara opens it. Inside, she finds several old letters, all signed with the same name, Andre, a man she has never heard of. Who is Andre? Why did he write so much? And why are all the letters addressed to her grandmother, but talk about her mother? Clara starts to read one of the letters, and the first sentence shatters everything she believed. If our daughter ever finds out about me, I hope she forgives me for being so far away. Clara feels her heart stop. Our daughter? Could Andre be her mother's real father? Her hands tremble. Clara's head feels like it's spinning. She runs to her grandmother crying, "Grandma, who is Andre?" Donna Olivia closes her eyes, takes a deep breath. The time has come, hasn't it? With a choked voice, Donna Olivia begins to tell the story. Andre was the great love of my life and your mother's true father. Clara can hardly believe it. Donna Olivia explains that in her youth, she and Andre fell deeply in love. But Andre had to flee the city, accused of something he didn't do. Olivia was already pregnant, but no one knew. To protect her daughter, she married another man who agreed to raise her as his own. Clara asks, "Does Mom know about this?" Her grandmother shakes her head no. "I never had the courage to tell her. I was afraid she would hate me." Clara realizes that her mother, Elisa, has always lived without knowing her own origin. Donna Olivia starts to cry, saying, "I spent my whole life carrying this guilt, but it was the only way to protect you." Among the letters, Clara finds an old photo of her mother as a baby, in Andre's arms. On the back of the photo, a date, April 21, 1970, the happiest day of my life. Clara decides, "Grandma, Mom needs to know." She'll hate me, Clara, but she has the right to know who she is. Her grandmother lowers her head, defeated. In the dialogue, Clara says, "Emotional family stories are like that. They have pain, sacrifice, secrets, but they also have true love." Clara calls her mother again. Finally, Elisa answers, crying, "Daughter, did you read the letter?" Clara's in shock. "So you already knew?" Elisa reveals, "I found out a few years ago, but I never had the courage to talk to Grandma." Why? Because I also feel anger and gratitude. It's hard to explain. Clara, looking at her grandmother, thinks, does a secret this big destroy or save a family? And you, would you forgive or not a lie like this told out of love? If you stayed until here, thank you very much. But stay with me, because in the next block, we'll discover who Andre really was and what price Donna Olivia paid to protect her own daughter.
Clara is sitting in the living room, with the letters spread out in front of her. Elisa, her mother, on the other end of the line, takes a deep breath. Grandma, Donna Olivia, sits quietly, her eyes red. The granddaughter asks, her voice barely holding, "Mom, will you tell me what you found out?" Elisa hesitates, then decides to speak. "A few years ago, I found these letters by chance. I saw my name on them, and I went looking for the truth." Clara asks, "And who was he? Andre was a simple man, a worker at an old textile factory in town. He had an easy smile, calloused hands, but eyes that spoke more than words. He fell in love with Olivia when she was just 18 years old. Images of old photographs flash by. One night, a fire destroyed part of the factory. Andre was falsely accused of starting the fire out of revenge against the boss. With no proof and no chance to defend himself, he was forced to flee the city. Olivia, already pregnant, was left behind, alone. Olivia waited for months for any news. Andre even sent a letter saying he would return, but he never did. Afraid of the scandal and to give a father to the child she was expecting, Olivia agreed to marry the man who proposed, Rogerio. Rogerio knew Elisa wasn't his biological daughter, but he promised to raise her as his own. In return, he asked Olivia never to tell the truth, not to Elisa, not to anyone. Elisa, crying on the phone, says, "Mom, when I found out, I felt anger toward her, but I also felt love because I realized the size of the sacrifice." Clara asks, "Did you tell Grandpa Rogerio that you knew?" "No, and I don't want to. He raised me with so much love. He's my dad." Clara thinks out loud. Stories like these show how love, guilt, secrets, and sacrifice all blend together in real life. Clara asks, "So, are we going to tell everyone?" Elisa hesitates. "I don't know yet. Does the truth heal or destroy?" Dona Olivia interrupts. "I received one last letter from Andre, but I never had the courage to open it." Clara and Olivia are in shock. "What do you mean?" Dona Olivia walks over to an old chest, opens it carefully. She takes out a yellowed, sealed envelope. On the back, it reads, "For when Olivia's heart is ready." Olivia, trembling, holds the envelope. "I was always afraid to find out he forgot me, or that he blamed me, afraid to destroy the image I kept of him." The three women sit in the living room. 3 generations connected by a secret. 3 hearts marked by silence, love, and fear. Would you open that letter, even knowing the truth might hurt more than silence? With trembling hands, Olivia decides to open it. Tears begin to fall even before reading the words. "My dearest Olivia, if this letter has reached you, it means I wasn't able to come back. I want you to know I never blamed you, and I never will. The only thing that comforts me is knowing our daughter will grow up with your love. If one day she learns about me, I want her to know I left because of love, not cowardice." Dona Olivia breaks down in tears, holding the letter against her chest. Clara hugs her grandmother. Elisa, on the other end of the line, cries in silence. Clara thinks, how can a man who disappeared from the story still leave behind so much love and so much pain at the same time? Elisa says, "Daughter, I want to visit the place where he lived." Clara replies, "Then let's go together, Mom." Dona Olivia, crying, "I'll go too." Clara repeats, emotional stories, sacrifice, impossible love, truth, family secrets. Will visiting the past heal these wounds or open new ones? Thank you for staying with us this far. In the next chapter, we'll travel to the place where it all began and uncover secrets even Dona Olivia didn't know. Stay with me. The best is yet to come.
A new journey begins. The day dawned cloudy. Clara, Elisa, and Dona Olivia continued their drive to the old town where Andre lived. The road seems short, but each kilometer weighs tons of memories, secrets, and fears. The road is empty. Dona Olivia's hands are clutching Andre's letter. Elisa is looking out the window, her eyes filled with tears. Clara is tightly holding her mother's hand. Clara says softly, "It's incredible how emotional family stories affect us so much, especially when there's sacrifice, hidden love, and old secrets." Arrival in the town. The town is small, with old houses, narrow streets, and stone sidewalks. It looks like time has stopped there. Dona Olivia takes a deep sigh. This is where everything began and ended. An old address. Clara opens one of the old letters. At the bottom, handwritten, Rua das Laranjeiras, number 78. This is the address where Andre lived. The three of them arrive at number 78. The house is old with peeling paint, but still standing. The wooden sign is almost faded by time. Dona Olivia hesitates. Should I knock? Elisa encourages her. Grandma, maybe someone there knows something we never knew. Olivia takes a deep breath and knocks. Dona Celina, Andre's sister. An elderly woman with gray hair opens the door. She stares intently at Olivia. Olivia? Her voice trembles. Celina? An emotional encounter. Celina hugs Olivia and they both cry. I thought I would never see you again. Clara and Elisa watch, feeling the power of this reunion. A new story emerges. Inside the house, Celina tells them, Andre never forgot you, Olivia. He wanted to come back, but he got very sick. Clara surprised. Sick? The illness. Celina explains, after he ran away, he worked hard and went hungry until his health gave out. He died a few years later. Dona Olivia covers her face, crying, I never knew. Clara thinks, how can someone love so much, suffer so much, and still protect the one they love until the end? Celina offers, would you like to see his room? It's almost exactly the same. The three of them look at each other. Elisa holds her mother's hand. Let's go. Andre's room. The room is simple. An old bed, a shelf with yellowed books, a black and white photograph of a young Olivia, and next to it, a small wooden box. The little box. Clara opens the box. Inside, a folded, handwritten note. If my daughter ever finds out about me, I want her to know that my greatest pride was loving her mother. Elisa cries silently, recognizing the love. Dona Olivia, her voice choked with emotion. He never stopped loving, not me, nor you, my daughter. Elisa hugs her mother. Grandma, you did what you thought was right. A moment of deep reflection. Clara observes, it's strange. Sometimes we think that lies destroy, but there are lies that are told out of love. An unexpected choice. To tell or not to tell the truth to everyone. Elisa asks, Mom, are we going to tell the rest of the family everything? Dona Olivia sighs. Maybe one day, but for now I just want to keep his memory in my heart. Clara comments, these are real stories, emotional stories, family secrets that mark generations. Before they leave, Celina hands them something that Andre had kept. He wrote a letter saying that he wanted to give it to his daughter when she was an adult. Elisa holds the letter, with tears. Clara looks at her mother. Are you going to open it? And you? If you were in her place, would you have the courage to read it, or would you keep it as a memory? Thanks for staying with me. In the next chapter, we'll find out what Andre wrote to the daughter he could never hug. Stay with me. What comes next will touch your heart even more. Elisa is sitting, holding the yellowed letter in her hands. Clara watches, her heart pounding. Dona Olivia squeezes her daughter's arm as if to say, I'm with you. The silence seems to weigh more than any words. Dramatic decision.
Elisa takes a deep breath. I waited my whole life without knowing who he was. Now, I don't know if I want to know how he felt. Clara encourages her. Mom, maybe this will heal something you didn't even know was broken. Clara comments. It's incredible how emotional stories, old secrets, parents, and children always affect us so much. A moment of courage. Elisa slowly opens the letter. Her hands tremble and the first tears fall even before she starts reading. Excerpt from the letter, read out loud by Elisa. My daughter, I never got to be by your side. Perhaps you grew up hating me, or worse, not even knowing I existed. But I want you to know, every day away from you was a pain greater than I can write. Your mother, Olivia, was the bravest woman I ever met. If she chose not to tell you about me, it was to protect you, not out of shame. I hope you grew up surrounded by love. Even from a distance, I loved you from the first second I knew of your existence. Elisa covers her face, sobbing. Clara approaches, giving her mother a tight hug. Donna Olivia cries in silence, looking at the ceiling, as if thanking God for this moment. Andre's final farewell. Elisa continues reading. If this letter ever reaches you, know that my greatest wish was always to hold your hand and tell you that you were my greatest victory. Elisa says softly, He never forgot me. A relief amidst the pain. Even as she cries, Elisa seems lighter, as if finally a void has been filled. For the first time in my life, I feel like I know who I am. Clara gently wipes Elisa's face. Donna Olivia caresses her daughter's back. The open letter rests on Elisa's lap with Andre's words highlighted. A deep reflection. Clara thinks, sometimes we spend our lives searching for answers, without realizing they were stored on a simple sheet of paper. Unexpected choice. Elisa looks at her grandmother. Mom, do you forgive me? Donna Olivia holds her daughter's hands tightly. Forgive? It was you who gave me the strength to go on. The two hug, crying. Clara whispers, real stories, emotional stories, family secrets, impossible love, it's all here. A treasured gift. Selena reappears, bringing a small box. Before he died, Andre asked me to keep this for his daughter. Elisa opens the box. Inside, a simple silver ring. The power of the gesture. Elisa places the ring on her finger. It's the first thing I have from him. Tears fall once more. Elisa's final decision. Elisa says, I'm going to keep this story to myself for now, but one day I'll tell my children. They deserve to know where they came from. A connection between generations. Clara observes, it's as if we're closing a cycle, transforming pain into a memory. Dramatic reflection. Donna Olivia says, true love doesn't die. It stays hidden until someone has the courage to open it. Clara asks, and you? Do you think some secrets should be revealed, or should some die in silence? Thank you for staying with me until the end. In the next chapter, we'll see how this revelation changes the lives of Elisa, Clara, and Donna Olivia, and what will be the last great choice they have to face. Stay with me. The best is yet to come.
After reading the letter and receiving the ring, Elisa spends the night awake.
She looks at the ring sparkling under the dim light of the lamp. The words of the father she never knew echo in her mind. You were my greatest victory. Elisa, in tears, confesses to Clara, "It's strange. I miss a man I've never seen. And at the same time, I feel like I always was close to him because of my mother's love." Clara holds her mother's hand. You two always had that love, even without knowing it. Clara comments, "These emotional stories of parents and children, old secrets, impossible loves, they always touch us in a different way." Clara looks at old photos, trying to imagine Andre. Donna Olivia is in the kitchen, making coffee with a lost look, remembering everything. Elisa touches the ring with her thumb as if it were a silent prayer. A new question arises. Clara thinks aloud, "Mom, do you have any half-siblings?" Elisa is in shock. "I never thought of that." Dramatic decision. Elisa decides to ask Selena, the aunt they just met again. "Aunt Selena, did Andre have other children?" Selena looks down. "Not that I know of. After he ran away, he only thought about getting back to you." A sense of relief. Elisa takes a deep breath. "In a way, it's good to know that he only had us in his heart." Donna Olivia hugs her daughter. "I was always afraid that you would hate me when you found out the truth." Elisa crying, "I don't hate you, Mom. I understand. You did everything out of love." A connection between generations. Clara watches the two of them hugging and thinks, "I've always admired my grandmother, but today I admire her even more for the strength she had to protect the ones she loved." Clara whispers, "Family secrets, emotional stories, silent sacrifices. All of this shaped who we are today." Clara holds her daughter's hand. "Thank you, Clara. If it weren't for you insisting, maybe I would never have known this part of my story." Unexpected choice, to return or to stay. Donna Olivia suggests, "What if we stayed here in town for one more day, to visit the places that marked our history?" Elisa hesitates. "What if it's too painful?" Clara replies, "Sometimes pain is the path to healing." Walk through the town. The three of them walk down the street where Olivia and Andre used to meet, an old park bench where they used to sit and talk. Olivia touches the bench and closes her eyes, remembering her youth. Dramatic reflection. Olivia says emotionally, "I lived the most beautiful love and the deepest fear, all at the same time." An unforgotten object. At the bottom of her bag, Clara finds something she didn't even remember. The old photo of her mother as a baby in Andre's arms. She shows it to Elisa. Elisa looks at it emotionally. It seems that, even without knowing it, he was always with me. Clara comments, "This is another one of those emotional stories that shows how the past lives inside us." A new revelation. The power of legacy. Elisa looks at her daughter. "I thought my story ended the day I found out the truth, but in fact, it was just beginning." A moment of unity. Donna Olivia emotionally, "You are everything I have. If I made the wrong choices, it was because I was trying to do what was right." Elisa hugs her mother. "You didn't make a mistake, Mom. You saved my life." Final decision. The three decide to spend the night at Selena's house to talk more and get details about Andre. A new question arises. Clara thinks, what if there are other letters, photos, or stories that we don't know yet? Clara, and you, if you had the chance to know everything about the past, even at the risk of suffering, would you go all the way? Thanks for staying with me. In the next chapter, we'll discover more secrets that Selena still holds and understand why Andre could never return. Stay with me. More emotional revelations are coming.
In the early evening, Selena calls Clara, Elisa, and Donna Olivia into the living room. She holds an old, yellowed envelope in her hands. Selena's voice is choked with emotion. I've thought a lot, and I think the time has come for you to know everything. What else is there that I don't know, Selena? Back then, Andre tried to come back to you, but something happened that changed everything. Emotional stories always have hidden secrets, sacrifices, impossible choices. When Andre ran away, he discovered he was being threatened. If he came back, they could harm you. He never told me that. He chose to stay away, to make sure you would be safe. He sacrificed himself for us. I spent my life thinking he forgot me. And in fact, he died loving me. Before he died, Andre wrote another letter, but asked me to deliver it only when it was safe. My dearest Olivia, if this letter ever reaches you, I want you to know, I never left out of cowardice. I left out of love. If coming back meant putting your life and our daughter's life at risk, I preferred to disappear. He loved me until the very last day. That's why these real stories, family secrets, impossible loves are so emotional. He wore this every day, and he wanted his daughter to have it. It's as if I have a piece of him with me. Daughter, I want you to have this chain one day, so that you never forget that you came from a story of courage and love. I always thought my silence would protect, but today I see that it also pushed us away. The love you felt was real, and that's what matters. We spend our lives trying to run from pain, but sometimes pain is the only bridge to the truth. Is there anyone else who knows this story? Or are there documents that better explain what happened to him? Family secrets, emotional stories, sacrifices, all of this makes us better understand who we are. He always said that his greatest pride would be knowing that you were alive and happy. In a way, he did. Are you going to tell this story to the whole family? I don't know yet. Maybe one day, when our hearts are ready. The important thing is that you know the truth, and that you know that, even in the silence, love never stopped existing. And you? Do you think some stories should be told to everyone? Or should some be kept only in our hearts? Thank you for staying with me. In the next and final chapter, we'll see how all of this transforms the lives of Clara, Elisa, and Donna Olivia, and what the great lesson for all of us is. Stay with me. The conclusion will be even more emotional.
The morning dawns slowly. Clara, Elisa, and Donna Olivia are gathered on the porch of Selena's house. The first sunbeams illuminate the silver chain resting on Elisa's lap. The silence is filled with meaning. Deep emotion, the legacy. Donna Olivia speaks in a low voice. My whole life, I tried to hide what hurt the most, because I thought to protect was to stay silent. She looks at her daughter. But true love doesn't need to hide. It needs to be remembered. Clara comments, emotional stories, old secrets, difficult choices. All of this is part of who we are. Clara's promise. Clara, emotional, holds her grandmother's hand. Grandma, I promise this story won't die with me. One day I'll tell my children who Andre was, who you were, and how your love brought me here. Donna Olivia cries, unable to say anything. Elisa hugs her mother. I forgive you, and I thank you. You gave me life, and now you've given me my history. Elisa's final reflection. Elisa looks at her daughter. Today I understood that we don't have to choose between loving those who stayed and those who left. Love doesn't divide. Love adds. The three of them hold hands, watching the sunrise. Andre's letter, the silver chain, and the ring are resting on the table. The wind rustles the pages of the letter as if giving life to the words. Renewal. Elisa takes a deep breath. For the first time, I feel peace. I know who I am. And most of all, I know where the strength that brought me here came from. Clara reflects. Family secrets, emotional stories, silent sacrifices. All of this builds who we are. The great final lesson. Donna Olivia says with tears, "The greatest sacrifice I ever made was staying silent. But I see now that love doesn't need to hide to be eternal." A connection between generations. Elisa smiles, looking at Clara. "And you, daughter, taught me that sometimes it takes courage to ask the right questions." Clara replies, "And you both taught me that true love survives even silence." Closing the arc. Clara puts the letter and the chain in a special box. Elisa decides to write everything she discovered in a diary so the story won't be lost. Donna Olivia, for the first time, says Andre's name out loud without crying in pain, but with saudade. Final dramatic reflection. Clara, how many similar stories must there be out there? How many grandmothers, mothers, fathers who kept secrets out of love? A final choice. Elisa says, "I'm not going to tell everyone yet, but I will never again hide from myself who he was." Clara concludes, "Family secrets, emotional stories, impossible loves. These are the memories that make us who we are." Donna Olivia, looking at the horizon. "Now I can say his name in peace. Andre, thank you for teaching me that silence doesn't erase love." Clara ends, "And you? If you discovered a secret like this in your family, would you tell everyone or keep it in your heart? Tell us in the comments. Your opinion is important. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end. If this story moved you, leave a like, comment on what you thought, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories. And also watch the next recommended video. It will touch you even more. Final moral and reflection. Silence can hide words, but it never erases true love. The silent sacrifice of a grandmother sometimes is what keeps an entire family standing.